to subscribe.
Welcome to Lake Asasumba.
Hello, this is TVWAN News. I'm Jasmine Jack. Assistant Police Commissioner for NCD Anthony Wagambi Jr. has made it clear that complaints of alleged sexual abuse laid against Agriculture Minister Aya Tambua has nothing to do with politics. Wagambi stated that police were acting upon an official report laid on Sunday, September the 24th at the Boroko Police Station. He said police started investigating after initial inquiries found that they had a case to work with. He added that police officers have a duty to interview both the complainant and the defendant to ascertain facts before any arrest can be made. Meantime, Wagambi confirmed that the interim protection order is in place to protect the complainants and prevent any interference or threats during the course of the investigation. Minister for Internal Security Peter Siamalili Jr. says he will not resign as the cabinet minister following comments by East Sepik Governor Alan Bird accusing him of advocating for Bougainville independence at the sides of UN General Assembly. Bird in a statement questioned Siamalili's ability to balance competing interests as regional member for Bougainville and as Internal Security Minister.
Internal Security Minister Peter Siamalili Jr. has defended himself as a cabinet minister and clarified that his speech at the United Nations General Assembly was not to advocate for Bougainville's independence, rather of the need for the United Nations to continue to support peace-building initiatives globally. Siamalili said he spoke on Papua New Guinea's foreign policy as friends to all and enemies to none, that enables PNG to work with all countries as well as the need to advance peace through peaceful means. He said as a Minister of State, he is committed to working with the national government to find an enduring and peaceful solution for Bougainville. Siamalili was responding to a statement by the Governor for East Sepik, Alan Bird. Governor Bird had accused Siamalili of inappropriately using his position as a Minister of State to promote his political agenda on the international stage. However, Minister Siamalili denied this and instead said he spoke of the need to advance peace by peaceful means to be applied in a global context, emphasizing the need for tact, sensitivity, and mutual respect when negotiating the path to peace. Freddie Mo, TVWAN News.
Papua New Guinea has reopened its visa on arrival or VOA facility for selected countries on a reciprocal basis, effective immediately. Under bilateral visa exemption agreements, passport holders from Japan, State of Israel, Republic of Indonesia, People's Republic of China, and all member states of the Melanesian Spearhead Group can now avail themselves of the VOA service at Jackson's International Airport in Port Moresby. PNG has also inked bilateral visa agreements with the Republic of India and the Republic of Korea, although these agreements await rectification by the Parliament before they can be implemented. Chief Migration Officer Stanis Hulahau said the PNG government is reciprocating the same treatment to passport holders from countries offering similar privileges to PNG passport holders, whether diplomatic, official or standard. In regional news, the New South Wales government is cracking down on the sale of illegal vapes, but the Premier admits enforcement is difficult under current laws. He says he wants the federal government to go ahead with its proposed ban of non-prescription e-cigarettes.
Behind the bright packaging and fruity flavours is a bitter truth.
This will probably kill me if I keep doing it. Kind of tastes like childhood lollies.
Just like lollies, vapes can be found at many convenience stores.
If it was hard for me to find, I never would have even started.
I've seen more and more school kids vaping.
Hooking a new generation on nicotine.
When I was a kid, we used to have to hide to smoke our cigarettes. Now you can just vape wherever you like.
We found that young people who were non-smokers who used e-cigarettes were 3 times as likely to go on to smoke as young people who had not used e-cigarettes.
It's a trend the state government is trying to vaporise, doubling the number of enforcement officers to 14.
And this, I've made sure, is going to be a personal priority of mine.
Selling nicotine vapes to people without a prescription is against the law, but it is legal for adults to buy e-cigarettes without nicotine. While tens of thousands of illegal vapes are seized every month, prosecutions are rare.
And only if New South Wales Health and the prosecutors can prove that the retailer knew that nicotine was contained in the vape. And considering it's not on the side of the box, it's very difficult to meet that high threshold.
The Premier says the state can't vanquish vaping alone. He's calling on the federal government to ban the sale of e-cigarettes in retail settings. The Commonwealth says reform is already in train.
I've said that I'll be aiming to put in place an import control regulation by the end of this year, which will ban the import of vapes into this country other than through a very narrow therapeutic pathway.
Restricting vapes to those trying to make their nicotine habit go up in smoke.
Hundreds of travellers have been stranded in Vanuatu after the country's sole international aircraft, Air Vanuatu, was grounded due to mechanical issues. Air Vanuatu says its Boeing 737 is grounded in Brisbane, awaiting a mechanical part, meaning more than 20 Air Vanuatu flights to Australia, New Zealand and Fiji have been cancelled or rescheduled since Friday, September the 22nd. The airline says it is deeply sorry for the significant disruptions and is promising to resume its international schedule by the end of this week. Air Vanuatu operates code-share agreements with Fiji Airways, Air Calin, Air New Guinea and Solomon Airlines, but it only has one international aircraft, a Boeing 737. The pilots' union is calling on the company's chair to stand down, saying they have lost faith in Richard Goyder. The Australian and International Pilots Association says if the company is to move on from a deeply damaging period, it has to do so without its chair.
Pressure building on the Qantas chair, Richard Goyder. This is quite an interesting development from the pilots' union. They haven't intervened in this way before, but they're really suggesting they've completely lost faith in Richard Goyder. Now, this comes a few weeks after the High Court found that Qantas had illegally sacked 1,700 of its ground crew during the pandemic. The union saying the time really has come for Richard Goyder to move on, and if Qantas is going to change its culture as a company, it can't do so with Richard Goyder in that position as chair of the board of directors. It does have confidence in the new CEO, Vanessa Hudson. It's in fact penned this letter to Ms Hudson and says she has been fairly well received among Qantas staff. Its gripe really is with the board's chair. Now, Richard Goyder has been on the board of Qantas since 2017. He's been chair since 2018. He is quite a seasoned director. He also chairs Woodside Energy and the AFL Commission too. But here's the AIPA's Tony Lucas explaining their call this morning.
15 years of industrial, adversarial and aggressive staff relations. And I think for us the final straw
is the fact that it's still a Qantas policy for the staff to take a 2-year wage freeze during a time of raging inflation and really good company profits. And in the meantime, the board, according to their own annual report, is increasing their remuneration considerably. So that's what's led in the culmination in us now suggesting that the chairman should stand aside.
There's been plenty of political discussion within this building about the situation facing Qantas over the past few months. Criticism from both sides of politics, particularly around that High Court decision there and the action taken against those 1,700 workers.
In sports, the Capital Rugby Union is pleased to announce the appointment of Eddie Galele as its general manager. President Corey Chan said the appointment of Galele following a successful advertising and interview campaign process. Before his latest appointment, Galele has been acting as an advisor to the CRU over the past few months, and with his wealth of experience in corporate and infrastructure leadership, understanding the code in management, mentoring and coaching. Galele was born in Milne Bay and raised in the nation's capital and played rugby from 2000 to 2007 with University Piggies. He had a stint playing rugby league and in 2011 was a foundation player of the Nova Rugby Club. In 2018, he took up coaching and won Nova Club's first premiership trophy with the under-23 side. Galele is currently the head coach of the Nova Premier team and assistant coach to CRU Boroma's head coach Robert Doko. New Zealand will play Fiji in the final of the OFC Under-16 Women's Championship following a professional performance in their victory over Tonga in Papeete. Leon Burney's side were the dominant force against a physical and hard-working Tonga, eventually running out 7-0 winners to book their final spot against earlier semi-final winners Fiji. Here are the highlights.
Supplied the ball and Angela Pivek got at the back of that, and New Zealand opened their account, and total domination by New Zealand. But here Katie Pugh in the 35th minute of play, slotting in the second goal. By New Zealand. But here Katie Pugh in the 35th minute of play, slotting in the second goal, and they went to the half-time break. New Zealand leading 2-0. Pia Vellock, the captain, started the second New Zealand. But here Katie Pugh in the 35th minute of play, slotting in the second goal, and they went to the half-time break. New Zealand leading 2-0. Pia Vellock, the captain, started the second half, a goal from the penalty spot in the 4th minute of play. 4 minutes later, it was Vellock supplying that pass into the box it came, and Ella Jerez did well to Vellock supplying that pass into the box it came, and Ella Jerez did well to turn that and put it in the corner. And then just a minute later, it was Vellock supplying that pass into the box it came.
And that's it for the Midday News. Join us at 6 this evening for the main news.